All right, everybody, welcome. Hope you're having a good morning today. It is early in the morning. Haven't done an early in the morning stream in a while. I hope you're having a really good day. Good morning to all of you. This is going to be my Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 104 stream, where basically the plan is I'm going to look at Chapter 104. We're going to talk about it, and I can take super chats and calls. I don't know if anyone's going to call in because it's early as hell, but from the Discord server. But I hope you're having a good morning today. It's February 19th, 2025. So, man, I remember getting on these streams and being like, hey, it's December 12th, 2022. Like, it feels like this is the first new Dragon Ball Super manga chapter in a little bit under a year, because March was the last one of last year, and it feels different, man. It's been a minute, but I actually genuinely miss covering the manga, for better or for worse. I mean, it wasn't perfect. It had its flaws. But I miss covering the manga during like the granola arc and the moral arc. Those arcs both had lots of issues that I had, but they were also fun too. So I don't know, man. I do miss that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Now, I also labeled the stream more Super Saiyan 4 talk. So if you want to talk about Super Saiyan 4, we can do that, or Daima. But first, I want to get like the manga chapter shit out of the way. The Dragon Ball Super manga one shot has dropped. It's been out for about 30 minutes, a little bit more. So we'll take a look at it now. Sleep already sent in a super chat. I was not expecting to get one this early. Let me go ahead and see what he said. He says, "Fist time." I think you mean first time in years. In 6 years, we're getting an episode of a weekly Dragon Ball anime alongside a manga chapter. I miss it when it used to be like this. Yeah, I agree. I always had thought that by the time that Daima was on the air, the Super manga would have come back, but it didn't. It genuinely didn't. So, now it's back for at least a month, at least for this month. But I actually do miss that too. Even though when Super was on the air as an anime and we were getting the Super manga, at first the manga was ahead of the anime, the Universe 6 arc, right? Then the anime caught up, and then by the time that the anime had caught up to the manga, we were watching Tournament of Power, and they were still on the Frieza arc. The Frieza arc. I'm sorry, the Goku Black arc. They were still on that. So it was one of those things where it was fun to do, but the manga was behind. I didn't have a problem with it at the time necessarily, but it's not like we were getting new stuff. With Daima, there was an opportunity to push the Super story forward while giving us Daima, and that didn't happen. And I'll talk about that more later in the stream if you want. Thank you, Modder DX2000. I can't put the super chat on the screen. We're not using StreamYard today. And then DJ Extra Picklix. Your thoughts on Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 4? I talked about that on the stream on Sunday with Uchi. We talked about how, let me go ahead and get the manga panel pulled up. We talked about how we're just kind of just chilling, and we're talking about if they can figure out a way to bring back Super Saiyan 4 later in the timeline, right? And then mix it with Ultra Instinct, it would kind of look like Super Saiyan 5. And we were talking because now if Toyo Toro is going to take the story forward, if that's where they're going with it, then anything's possible. Like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I've been wrong about predicting the future of Dragon Ball in the past, because Dragon Ball always goes in unexpected directions, whether it be bringing back Broly, bringing back Super Saiyan 4. Like, it always goes in directions you can't predict all the time, you know? So I've kind of learned to just, you know, expect the unexpected. You understand what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected. I'm not saying they're going to do it, though. All right, so let's look at this Dragon Ball Super one-shot chapter. This is the Clean God. The chapter opens up with an alien going to Earth, which is how many Dragon Ball Z movies start like that, bro? With, like, you know, like, oh my goodness, dude, think about it. How many fucking Dragon Ball Z movies start with an alien invasion? You know, like, oh my goodness, like, at least half of them, right? So, okay, so they arrive on the Earth, and then these are the polluting aliens, right? Because this is supposed to be like a parody of Captain Planet. At least I think it's a parody of Captain Planet. And so these dirty aliens come to Earth to basically spray sludge all over the place, right? And get people sick. And then we have the arrival of Clean God. Now, it's been a minute since we've seen Toyotaro draw. Almost a year, right? I think he's improved. I really do. I don't know what he's been cooking up. I don't know if he's been writing chapters or if he's been practicing his art or just studying it. But I do feel like he's improving. I mean, look at this shot right here of the broom hitting this dude in the mouth with his cheek moving. Like, that's a very Toriyama-esque hit. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it turns out that this is Clean God. They were like a golden deck brush. Don't tell me. Da-dun, da-dun. See, this right here would have been a funny filler episode of Dragon Ball Super. If it were anime. I forgot to bring my water. I'm gonna have to go get it at some point. Vlad leaned more like sewage sludge. Cell is not an alien. No, I know that. Not every villain is an alien, but a lot of them are. How do we read the manga for free now? Viz costs money now. Does it really, Cody? You don't have to read it on Viz. This is on Manga Plus. You go to mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. But I want you to know something, Cody, and everybody else in the chat. I want you to know that it's only free for a limited time. They eventually take it off of it being free. So that might be why it's charging you. But the new chapters are free for a little while. Hold on, I got a super chat from J-Dot who says, "What's up, bro? Maybe I missed it, but have you talked about how they plan on explaining Super Saiyan 4 in the future while keeping Daima canon? Maybe a memory wipe thing. Hopefully it's a good reason." Have I talked about it, J-Dot? I've done 2 streams, both of which over 3 hours, one over 4 hours, talking all about it. Yes, I've talked about it. Not necessarily the canon thing, because you know how I feel about that. Like, there's not much to say in that realm. You understand what I'm saying? But yes, I have. But I'll tell you what, though. I will tell you what. Tonight, later tonight on the channel, tonight, guys, Super Saiyan 4 Explained is going up. The video is done. And I'm really proud of it. And I hope when you see it, you share it out. Because that's coming on tonight on the channel, right around 7 o'clock Eastern. So we will have an explanation. No, I'm not taking bong hits, bro. That's coffee. Okay, we're getting a lot of super chats, which I'm not surprised about. I appreciate everyone. We are gonna keep doing the chapter. He says, "Have you seen the Creature Commandos? Def 7 episodes only." No, I haven't, but I heard good things. I heard good things about Creature Commandos. I have not seen it yet. That's the new cartoon animated series in the James Gunn DC universe. I have not seen it. Is it on HBO Max? Retro Mint Man says Clean God Solo's Red Hulk. Well, when you consider who it is, yeah. Sleep says, I want manga volume of the Gray Saiyaman movie. Do you think that would be cool? Yes, I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool. Yes. So yeah, the Super Saiyan 4 explained video is coming tonight. So Taylor says, which form do you like better, SS4 or SS Daima? I think you're talking. Well, they're both SS4. I said this on the stream also. I feel like I still like the original Super Saiyan 4 more, like the old school Super Saiyan 4, but the transformation sequence for this one was better. The old one had a little bit more emotion to it, a little bit more, but this one seems a bit better. Let's get back to the manga. That's far enough. Dirty Mad. Imagine naming a villain Dirty Mad, bro. Let me see. Is this thing? I don't know if this thing is caught up here. I'm using the YouTube. Give me 1 second here, because this thing's always got to be weird. I'm using the YouTube studio for this stream. I'm not doing StreamYard. Let me see here. Viewer activity. Okay, Kyle McCaskill. I've seen you before, bro. I just don't know how to pronounce your last name, so I'll just call you Kyle. He says, Toriyama has passed on. Nothing going forward is canon. Everything is GT DLC. Stop the BS canon nonsense. That's one way to look at it. I don't think a lot of the fans are going to look at it that way, although I do understand why you look at it that way. If you're one of those people that thinks that if Toriyama's not involved, it's not canon, then I understand. But the problem that I've always said, this is the issue, y'all, is that every Dragon Ball fan has a different idea of what canon is. Everyone has their own canon, right? And there's no official canon, right? So everybody sort of thinks they know what's canon, or they have their version of what's canon. And oftentimes their version of what's canon has holes in it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, if your idea of what is canon is anything Toriyama's involved in, he was involved in GT as well. Not as involved as he was in Super, but he was involved in GT as well. So, again, this is where we get into the gray area here, man. This is why canon debates can be very complicated, because if you're saying that, oh, well, GT doesn't count because he wasn't that involved, that now you're kind of like, when you say that, now it's like, well, he wasn't that involved in other things, like he did video game stuff, and that's not part of the continuity. So that's what I'm saying. Things get complicated. They get complicated. So I need to make that canon video, dude. That's what I need to do. I need to hurry up and make that damn video. You know what I mean? I need to hurry up and make it to explain all this. Because in the canon video, one of the things I'm going to do is talk about the different opinions of what's canon and discuss how there's flawed logic. But it's not that the logic is wrong, it's just flawed. So, you know. Dragon Clap says Geekdom knows there is a canon. You're wrong. I've said about 1,000 times there is no canon. So don't put words in my mouth, brother. I said there is no canon. So don't be saying that I know there's a canon. But there is a canon. If you really want to narrow it down, it's the original manga. The original manga. But again, there's a lot of debate on that. Let me get back to this. I want to get back to this chapter here. So here's Clean God, who inspired Saiyaman X and 1 and 2. I am Clean God. I think Toro had a good time with this. Okay. Dragon Ball Super Chapter 104, The Birth of Saiyaman X. Now, it says here, written by Akira Toriyama, art by Toyotaro. I'm telling you right now, this is wrong. I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm telling you this is wrong. Did I not tell you guys? And I know I said this. I know I said this shit. God, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that they're always going to put Toriyama's name on something, even if he's not the writer. We know this was not written by Toriyama. We know that because Toyotaro's the one who came up with Clean God, and Toriyama just supervised him and just looked at the art. That's something that's been said. It's inarguable. It still says written by Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama's been dead for almost a year. But if you remember, when Moro and Granola were coming out, I saw people, see, it says Toriyama wrote it. And I was like, no, he didn't. Toriyama has not written any of these manga chapters. All he did is write a manuscript for the Granola arc. The Moro arc was mostly Toyotaro. And so him and Toyotaro collaborated together. But the monthly manga that you see, right, was illustrated and written by Toyotaro. Toriyama helped out, but it wasn't his. He wasn't the guy like that was actually putting pen to paper. So that right there is proof, bro. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? If they're still going to keep Toriyama's name on it, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. But this chapter was not written by Toriyama. They even said so at the Jump Festa when they announced it. Okay, so Goten and Trunks are watching the movie at home, and it says here, the narrator, which I guess would be Toyotaro, right, says, this is the story of how Trunks and Goten decided to become Saiyaman X. And they're watching this movie, and they're basically, Clean God made the villains clean up their mess. He turned both of them into clean freaks. Enjoying cleanliness is shameful to our clan. This is so wacky, bro. Fire the stink cannon, bro. The stink cannon. You want to talk about what's canon? The stink cannon. So, the thing about this is, Toyotaro is trying to capture the Toriyama, like, humor. Because this is somewhat like how Toriyama would do it, but not exactly. Now, I will say this. I just got this out of the dry cleaner, bro. It smells so good. Smells so good, man. So, stink cannon. That sounds like fucking when you go to Taco Bell at 4 in the morning, bro. If there's, 3 in the morning. They close at 4 on weekends, I think. I haven't been there in a long time. This smells worse than anything. It stinks. This isn't only a smell. Our stink gas saps your strength and will to fight. So, Clean God can't be around smells. Now, I will say this about Toyotaro. Listen to me. I do think he improved as an artist. His panels, though, are not that great still. That's always been his weakness, is his panels. Because if you look, see the boxes? The Toriyama and even Torishima criticized him for this. See this space down here? Like, that's something Toriyama would almost never do. You know, either pull the whole frame down or put something else down there. Now, I don't know if maybe he thought they were going to put something there. He left it blank. I don't know. But the paneling has always been like his weakness. Do you know what I mean? What will happen to Clean God now? Will he be able to defeat Dirty Mad and save Earth? Now for a special announcement. Clean God's getting a live-action movie. Watch the continuation in theaters across the country. We knew about the Clean God movie because it was mentioned in the superhero prequel stuff. They're all excited to see the movie. And Trunks is over here like, oh, this whole mask and tights thing, it's dated. And that's the thing, too. It is kind of dated, but we are living in a time now where superhero movies, we get like multiple superhero movies a year. That's what's going on right now. And it's funny because when Toriyama came up with Great Saiyaman, way back in like 1994 ish, we weren't getting that many superhero movies. There were some, but it wasn't like now when you've got like three MCU movies a year, and it's a lot, two or three. This year we're getting three. No, we might be getting four actually. I think we might be getting four. I think. No, it's three. It's three. I'm pretty sure it's three because it's gonna be, I think, okay, Captain America, right, and then there's Thunderbolts, and then there's Fantastic Four, and I think that's it. But there's rumors of a November movie too, but I lost track, man. I lost track. Let's continue. Superman's also coming out this year from James Gunn. That should be good. So this is them going to school. They're taking the school bus even though they can fly. I would never take the school bus again if I could fly. That's a little goofy, to be honest with you. And here we have the statue of multiple heroes. Why is Olibu one of the statues, bro? Let me tell you why this is wacky. In case you don't know, because some of you guys might not know this, and some of you guys might not have seen this in years. Olibu is a character Goku met in the Otherworld Tournament, which was an anime-only filler arc of Dragon Ball Z after the Cell Saga, but before the Buu Saga. It was 5 episodes, DBZ 195 to 199, right? Now, here's why this doesn't make much. Well, it does. Okay, first of all, I've already seen people say Olibu is canon. Olibu is canon. No, this is obviously an Easter egg alluding to Olibu. Olibu, from the way it was described, if I remember right, isn't even from the same planet. That Goku, like, he's not from Earth. The Otherworld Tournament has multiple fighters from all over the universe and all 4 quadrants. So I don't think it makes that much sense. But as an Easter egg, I love it. As an Easter egg, I love it, bro. Toyotaro oftentimes gives us Easter eggs from like stuff that you wouldn't expect. JK says, my best guess is he's meant to be analogous to the Greco-Roman gods. Yes. Yes, you're right. You're right about that. But the point is that people are saying that this makes Olibu canon, and it doesn't. It's just, it's an Easter egg. Like, that's all it is. But I do like seeing it. I do appreciate that. That is cool. So this is the statue of all the heroes, I guess. But notice, look over here in the lower left. Does that not look like the Cleopatra, God of Destruction? Remember the God of Destruction that looks like Cleopatra from Universe 2? Are you telling me that's also a hero from Earth? No, but it's meant to look like that. Now, the Easter egg that I really like, I'm about to mark out, y'all. I'm about to mark out. Oh, wait a minute. Oop, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's the Mr. Satan statue. I went too far, man. Hold on. Let me go down. Yeah, this is the Mr. Satan statue, which we knew existed since he killed Cell. You know, there's the Great Saiyaman, which is awesome. I need to go back to that. Where's that panel with all the gods? Hold on. Not the gods, the heroes. Hold on. I went down too far on accident. How did we? All right, let me go back because I swear I lost the page because I was trying to zoom in closer to show you something, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. There's the statue. I love that there's a statue of Goku there. See on the right, the statue of Goku? See right under where my head is? I love that because Goku did save the Earth from Demon King Piccolo, and everybody knows about it. And yes, he saved the Earth more than just that. Like he's obviously saved the Earth multiple times, right? But this is specifically about Demon King Piccolo because the world saw that. And then it says question mark here because they don't know what his face looks like, which is goofy. Because they saw him during the Cell games, right? Great Saiyaman. So they're over here discussing Clean God. And this is them shooting the movie. As you can see, there's the camera. This reminds me a lot of that Dragon Ball Super filler episode. It's not really filler. It's like an in-between. It's like a slice of life with Gohan shooting that superhero movie. Remember, it was a two-part episode. That's what it reminds me of. It's got the same kind of vibe. Now, if it were up to me, I wouldn't be doing this. If it were up to me, I would be writing the next arc of Super, but I also feel like Toyotaro is being told to write. Here's the way I understand it. I think this chapter was Shueisha asking him to write one more superhero chapter so they could put it in the volume, the collected volume of the manga. So now that this chapter's out, they're going to put it with the rest of the superhero stuff and release it in April as the newest Dragon Ball Super manga volume. So that's why this was even in this part of the timeline. So whenever if and when they decide to go and continue Dragon Ball Super story, it'll be in a new volume, which makes sense because, if they're going to go past End of Z or if they're going to go past just superhero, I get starting it in a new volume. Because when you think about it, y'all, Moro and Granola, the Moro and Granola arcs blend into each other. Remember the 7-3 head goes right into the Granola arc, so it's kind of like you could put them all in one volume. They didn't, but you could because it blends right into the next one. So now the cops have shown up. No Krillin. This is them shooting the wire foo. They stole my cosplay mask. It says the thieves stole a museum artifact and escaped to the crowds. Anyone seen any suspicious characters? Well, there's always suspicious characters in Dragon Ball. Let me see what's going on with the chat here, y'all. Hold on. Sleep says, I wish more people would read the manga. I'm at the part where Goku destroys the base and barely took me 2 weeks. And I'm only reading it during intro and outros of anime's really fast-paced IMO. I think you're talking about are you talking about the Red Ribbon saga? I'm guessing you're talking about the Red Ribbon Army saga. Hold on a minute, man. My thing is crashing on me here. Okay, can you see me still? Thank you, Game Over, Jesse. Can you see me still? I think I'm good, right? Let me check the live here. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay, what I was saying was, I think you're talking about the original manga, and I agree. I do wish that everyone read the manga just to get an understanding of the manga and the anime. Jordan and I do the Mangalorean on Tuesdays. We didn't get to do it yesterday, but most Tuesdays, that's what we do. Coffee's getting cold. Hey, yo, I know, Game Over, Jesse. I am actually kind of surprised. Welcome. We're just reading this manga. We're going to talk about Super Saiyan 4 as well. I don't know what the hell happened there with the damn Manga Plus thing going off. See that right there? Like, why is that? Okay, it's gone. Anyways. Is this the end, bro? It doesn't go any further down than that? That doesn't, man. Get him. All right, hold on. Let me refresh this. I don't know what's going on with this, bro. Let me refresh the page real quick because this is being really weird. I'm having some weird technical issues. You're saying you can still see me. Yeah, Mutai. That's what I wanted to show you. I want to show you that. But I'm trying to get to it. Oh, I remember these classmates. This is them going to school. We talked about that. There's the Olibu statue. Okay, right here. This is what I wanted to show you. See the guy? Let me zoom in a little bit. Not too much because I'll lose it. All right. See the guy there on the left next to the speech bubble? That is Master Mutaito. And if you know your Dragon Ball, you know that that is Master Roshi's master, the legendary martial artist, and he did save the world. He saved the world from Demon King Piccolo, right? And he used the demonic containment wave, otherwise known as the evil containment wave, the Mafuba, to do it. I love that Easter egg. I actually like these Easter eggs a lot. We see Olibu there. We see Mutaito there. Like, Toyotoro's kind of playing, kind of giving tribute to some of the long-lost characters. We haven't seen Olibu since the 90s, really. Since that filler arc. And we haven't seen Mutaito since when? Original Dragon Ball? That's a while ago. I don't know if I can hang with Kenny Omega in the ring. Game over, Jesse, bro, but I would love to. I think AEW's tonight. I might actually check out the show tonight. I haven't seen it in a few weeks, but I usually give them a chance once a month, and then I regret it. I may have to go get some water here in a minute. Unfortunately, my dumbass didn't bring water. He saved the world, but he's not in any game from Super Saiyan Snack. Yeah, I know. I know that. I don't know why they didn't, put him in. Okay, let me get this super chat here from Furion Kaiser. I need to know if are you naming yourself after Final Fantasy II? Is that where Furion is from? Yeah, I saw some of NXT last night. I didn't see the whole show, but I saw some of it and it was good. It's a good show, bro. Ricky Saints. Yes, Ricky's not Starks, Saints. Make sure you leave a like if you're stopping by, man. Okay, so Furion Kaiser. That's exactly where I got the name from. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew you got the name from Final Fantasy II. Because the only time I've ever seen that name was Final Fantasy II. And we're talking about Final Fantasy II, the original, not 4 that became 2 on Super Nintendo in America. The original 2. Furion's one of the 4 main characters who went against the Empire. I think that was the game with the Empire, right? Yeah, that was the one. Okay. Furion Kaiser says, the question mark on Goku's face may also be related to the panel in the original manga where it said that the world forgot about the boy who beat Piccolo Daimao. The world forgot Son Goku. I forgot that panel. I forgot it. So that would make sense. They forgot his face, but not the rest of his body. So I thought he got it from Riddick. I don't know, man. A lot of people, yeah, Moose and Obafemi. A lot of people who watch and read Dragon Ball are also gamers. So I always assume that if your name is related to a video game more than like a movie, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of gamers. Like Dragon Ball is a very nerdy type of show, even though everybody likes it. Make sure you leave a like if you're stopping by the way. Almost 1,000 people and half as many likes. Make sure you leave a like. It helps me out. But there's Mutaito right there, bro. There's a good shot right there of him, bro. There's a great shot right there of Mutaito. You see him right there on your screen. But yeah, it's very nerdy, even though a lot of people like it. In reality, if you really want me to be honest, every man, every guy, and a lot of women are nerds. It's just that some people are nerds for football, basketball, fixing cars, driving cars. Some people are nerds for history. Some people are nerds for just all kinds of different sports. But then you've got your anime nerds, your Dragon Ball nerds, your video game nerds. I don't think that I'm using the word nerds not as an insult, but it's what guys get deeply into. Have you ever been around somebody who's like a really hardcore fan of like baseball? They know all the stats. They know all the players. Like they can name like home runs and shit from the 70s. That's how I am with Dragon Ball. I bet what I'm saying is every guy is into something. You know? It's just that when I started, I'm a nerd for Scarlett Johansson. I don't blame you. When I started the channel, I was always a Dragon Ball nerd. And then when I started the channel and it kind of got big after a year, I got 43,000 subs in a year. I was like, oh shit, I could actually make a living at this. That wasn't even possible. Just talking about nerd shit. People on this platform have made a living talking about comic books, and that wasn't even possible unless you wrote for a magazine before YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, we're all kind of blessed. Do you think all Dragon Ball fans should check out Yu Yu Hakusho? Yes. Yes, I do. I actually do think that. So Mutaito, right, who you see on the screen right there, Master Roshi's master, great warrior. I've always wanted them to do a prequel story about Mutaito. They never have, but I always wanted it. I would love that. Your uncles watch baseball, I see from Pikachu Master. I'm Cuban, so like I never got into baseball, but my dad and my uncle, and my dad's friends, they love it. So yeah, I missed this panel, y'all, earlier. I apologize for that. We do get a good shot here. And she talks about, the tour guide talks about how many of these heroes lost their life during their battles, because she's asking if everybody's rich and famous, and they're not. Most didn't reveal their identities, choosing to forego fame and fortune. Right. And being a real hero is usually not about the glory. You understand what I'm saying? So she's saying we're going to go have lunch. There's Gray Saiyaman, and then Trunks sees it. Wait a minute. I know who that is. All right, so they're outside having lunch. Let's get back to the manga here. And then they're actually filming the Clean God movie. This is where we left off. Plasma Crusher, Deodorized. They're shooting the movie based on the TV show. Ironic that it's being shot near their school. Everyone's marking out. Now, I actually like these panels a lot. That's the director right there. Now, I'm not sure if he's supposed to look like Toriyama. Toriyama does not look like that, like in his later years, but young Toriyama kind of resembles this character here in front. But when it comes to the hair, but not like entirely, because that's Toriyama's hair back in the day, bro. He had hair just like that. I like how it says, wee oo, this is where the cops show up, right? In the middle of them shooting. That's kind of them doing the wire foo thing that the Matrix did. And then this is where they talk about the costumes. I thought we'd blended in real good. So these are real criminals. These are real criminals now during the shooting of the movie. What a coinky dink. One of them kidnaps Trunks and puts a knife, threatens to cut him, which makes me laugh because we're talking about Trunks here. This is the same character that was one of many that tried to save the world from Majin Buu. I was going to say he killed he killed Frieza, but that's future Trunks. And don't forget, future Trunks and present Trunks are not the same person. They have the same biology, but they grew up differently. And that's an example of nature versus nurture. Future Trunks had a hard life. Goku was dead. Vegeta was dead after fighting the androids. Gohan was his only friend and mentor, besides like probably his mom and whatnot. But I mean, combat-wise, it was just Gohan. Kid Trunks, though, grew up much more pampered because there wasn't really that big of a problem. So, future Trunks I've always liked a little bit more. Let me actually do a poll on that. I'm going to do a poll because I want to ask you, which Trunks do you like more? I think I know who's going to win, but I'd rather ask you. So we got future Trunks and present Trunks. I like future Trunks way more, but do not base your vote on my opinion. Give me your genuine opinion. Just, that's what I would like. Okay, so these guys are the criminals. Trunks is in trouble, but Trunks look at that elbow, bro. He did the elbow. I like that. I like this panel a lot. What just happened? Sudden stomach cramps, maybe. No, he got elbowed and he went down. Don't fuck with these meta-humans, bro. Tyrannic meat ain't even a question. Well, I mean, it's still fun to talk about. Jonathan Gray says, yo, Danny, do you think Neva will be Demon King or Gloria will fuse with someone to look like Mira from the games? Plus, thanks for all the content. Well, if I talk about the fusion, I forgot to turn the light off out there. If I talk about the fusion, it may end up being a leak. But there's been a lot of people who think that Gloria is going to fuse with one of the Saiyans and look like Mira. I've seen fan art of that. So, I don't know if it'll look like that, but that would be something. And then as far as Neba being the Demon King, I think that could happen, but I think it'll end up being Pansy and her dad. I could be wrong, though. I could be totally wrong. We've got 2 episodes of Daima left over. So one is airing this Friday, one's airing next Friday. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the last episode of Daima is airing February 28th, which is literally one day before March 1st. March 1st is the day that Akira Toriyama died. That was not done on purpose. That was completely coincidental, but it's freaking weird and kind of sad that the last episode of Daima is a day before the 1-year anniversary of Toriyama's passing. That is a bummer. That is a bummer. So, Rabbit Core says King Kai said Olibu was from Earth. Yeah, I don't remember him saying that, but if you're right, you're right. I mean, I don't remember much of Olibu's backstory. Where can I find leaks for the last 2 episodes if there are any? Bro, you act like that's easy, bro. That is not easy to know. There's no leaks. Well, I have some stuff, but I'm not going to leak it. So just be aware that the next episode of Daima, the one coming out in 2 days, is another crazy episode. Please be aware of this now. If you don't want to be spoiled on Daima, social media will be talking about it nonstop. Make sure you use your phone. You put do not disturb or focus mode on, and you stay away from all of the internet as much as you can before you see it, if you care. If you don't care, you don't care. I mean, it's fine. But if you do care, do that, because this episode coming up is another crazy episode. So make sure that you do that. Let me check the poll results real quick here. 90% say future Trunks and 10% say present. So future Trunks has smashed present Trunks. I'm not supposed to attract any attention, but it looks like I don't have a choice. You mustn't use your powers while your true identity is exposed. This is now Clean God talking to Trunks. So Clean God is in action right here. Here he is doing a kick. This image got out a couple days ago. This is Toyotaro's drawn this kick before. Knocks the dude down. Everyone's all shocked. This guy pulls out a gun. And then he says clean filter, and he catches the bullets. Now, the thing about him catching the bullets is where have we seen this before? Where have we seen this before? I'll talk more about it shortly. Just bear with me. That toy isn't going to work on me. So that's a real gun, bro. And now Trunks is like, wait a minute. This guy is really can grab bullets. Like, that's the shocking thing about this. Since when is he an actual hero? We'll get to it. So he does a drop kick. Oh, no, it's not a drop kick. It's like a double stomp. That's like Finn Balor's move. That's like the coup de grace from Finn Balor, right? Let me get out of there. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Anyways, takes the guy down. I don't know why. I don't know why this is behaving like this, bro. It's weird. Like, see how, like, it... I guess high. Vertical, horizontal. Actually, horizontal might be better now that I think about it. Let me refresh this, bro. This is giving me trouble today. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're reading backwards. We left off... Wait a minute. I may go back to vertical, bro. Let me go back to vertical. This page is... Manga Plus is weird, bro. Like, I usually read it on Viz. At least I have back in the day. Actually, this is better because... you see more of the page. You know what I mean? Let me keep going though. We don't want to. We want to go back to where we left off. We covered all this. Okay, yeah. Clean God saves him even though he doesn't need saving. Well, he elbowed the guy, but Clean God shows up to do all the work and tell Trunks to stand back. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so anyways, this is where we left off. So here comes Clean God here, smashes this fucking guy. Super speed clean punch. And then he's like, and then this is what I was talking about. Trunks is like, wait a minute, this guy actually has powers? And then now here's the problem. He kidnaps an innocent person who's not Trunks. Somebody who could actually be killed by a bullet. You know, a regular bullet. You're no actor. You're no normal actor, are you? Who are you? Show your face. And then now Clean God says, hey, boy, do you know why heroes wear masks? Why? Because they think it makes them look cool. And he's like, they are cool, yes, but that's not the only reason. So here he is with the bullet, flicking it back, knocking the damn gun out. Spinning chop. That's a good panel right there, bro. Look at that panel right there on the left. That's a good panel, dude. I like that panel. Like the art. I'm saying the art is good. The art is good. So down he goes. Hold on. Did Clean God explain to Trunks? Did we pass that part yet? Okay, no, we didn't. We did not pass that part. He does explain to Trunks why heroes wear masks. Taking hostages is a dirty move. You're going to pay for this. Once I find out who you are, then I'll get my revenge. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that, buddy boy. And then he says, are there people important to you? What kind of question is that? And then he thinks about... Now, let's talk about this panel here on the right. We've got his school friends. We've got Marin and 18. I think that's who that is. I think Vegeta, Goten. Like this is Trunks thinking about people that are close to him. And then Mai is the last one because he still has that crush on her, which I'm not really a big fan of. It's just I don't like the storyline that much. He's like, yeah, of course there are. Just you watch. I'll find your friends and your family. I'll kill them all. See that? Okay, so see right here what he says. He says, heroes wear masks and keep their identity secret so that they can protect their loved ones from evil. That's the same thing that Batman said in The Dark Knight Rises. He's like, the reason why we wear a mask is not to protect us, but to protect our loved ones. Because if the villains find out who their loved ones are, they'll go after them. It makes sense. They got that from classic comic books, but it makes sense. Skull Lenity with the super chat says, I think present Trunks and Goten were handled horrible in the Renaissance. To me, the Trunks and Goten from the Buu saga feel like different characters. They didn't do much with them. The Renaissance focused a lot on Vegeta and Bulma. Oh, they're saying they're saying that's not y'all. Hold on, I just got to the chat. You're saying that's Bra, that's Bola, that's not Marin. See, it looks like Marin because of the pigtails. You know what I mean? It looks like Marin because of the pigtails. Yeah, I guess that would be Bulma. Even though when you look at that picture of Bulma, it looks more like Tights, her sister. So yeah, I couldn't even tell because it looks more like Tights. And it's the GT18 hair, you know what I mean? So the point is that you got to wear a mask to protect your loved ones. He comes in, clean uppercut. Damn, bro, he knocked the shit out of this guy. Like, he had to hold back his power because he would have decapitated him for real if he used all his power. It's kind of like when Spider-Man punches someone, he has to hold back because Spider-Man has super strength because he got bit by a radioactive spider and he could lift cars and shit. So if he hits you with a punch, he can freaking knock your head off. So he has to hold back. Okay, so yeah, as far as the Goten and Trunks thing goes, they did put a lot more focus on Goku and Vegeta. Super is all about Goku and Vegeta. It's Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta. And a lot of the other characters were left, you know, by the wayside. Toyotaro tried to give Goten and Trunks something to do in the superhero arc, but to be honest with you, I don't really know if that's what people want. I think they need to come up with ways of using the side characters better. I think that's something that needed to be done a long time ago. Sleep says, so Clean God can save someone who's held at gunpoint with a ki blast, but Goku couldn't rescue Dende the same way. DB confuses me sometimes. If you're talking about Daima, I said that too in that episode. I was like, Goku would just get behind him and knock out Degasu and take Dende. So, yeah, Daima's got weird continuity issues. You know what I mean? Gabe says, dude has a G on his forehead, hence Gohan. Well, the G is supposed to be for Clean God or whatever, but yeah, we'll get there. So Clean God to the rescue. Do you repent, evildoer? And now to finish you off with my ultimate attack. But also, this is a G and a C. See, it's a C and it's a G. Clean God. This is where he busts out the broom. And then he's marking out. Here he is with the broom. Hits him with the aqua wash. Let me zoom out a little bit, man. I am Clean God. I wanted to show that full panel there. I like that panel. It looks kind of like a different manga, but I like it. So then there's Clean God with. I like this panel here too, bro. This, and I said this the other day. This resembles American comics more than Japanese. And yeah, Daima does have some issues. And I'll talk about I talk about them on the reviews. When Daima ends, I'm probably gonna do a full like video on the good and the bad because there's good and bad to Daima. You know, I don't love everything they do. I don't hate everything they do. It's what can you do? So I love this panel here of Clean God. I actually think it's really good art. Like I said before, Toyotaro's great. Trunks is marking out. I'm sorry, I repent, I promise. Now please save me. I don't want to fall and die. So he's basically telling the guy, threatening and scaring him, Batman style, brings him back. Did you know that actor could do that? And Trunks is like, no, that's a hero. So he realizes that this is not just some actor. This is a real hero. We'll get to that in a minute here. So we cut to after school. There's a time skip. Hey, Trunks, let's hang out. And then here he is watching Clean God, the show. And then he's like, or is he playing the game? No, he's playing the game, bro. Look at this. He is there playing. It doesn't say what game system it is because obviously they can't because of licensing. But he's playing the Clean God video game. In this universe, they got everything, bro. And now Goten's marking out. And then he's like, you bought the Clean God game? Bro, Trunks' family is rich. Trunks' family is the richest family on Earth. They can afford more than just a video game. They could probably fund the entire Clean God movie. You know what I'm saying? And then Trunks is saying the game's not bad. You're good at this, Goten. And then he's like, what if the two of us did it too? This is where they start to brainstorm the idea of being heroes. Not in the game. We already are. And then he's like, oh, you wouldn't be interested at all? And he's like, no. And then he's like, actually, I think I am. This is the birth of Saiyaman X1 and X2. This is how they were inspired to become heroes. Gohan has his own video game. No, dude, Clean God is an already established hero. Gohan was dressing like Clean God to prove a point to Goten and Trunks. It's not that he's a hero. It's not that Clean God has always been Gohan. How much involvement did Totoro have in Daima? Probably none. Or at least very little. He drew some of the Kais, but that was before Daima even started. This is where they're like, let's be heroes. First, let's design the costumes so we can keep our identity secret. What about adding stuff like Vegeta's battle outfit? Papa's got a good idea to add a touch of that. She's actually drawing what he wants the costume to look like. Look at this, bro. Look at this line right here. He says, oh, Goten, do we really need the tights and the briefs over top? Tights and briefs, bro. In case you don't know, his grandpa is Dr. Brief and his aunt is Tights. So it's just funny to me. Obviously not in Japanese. I would assume that in this part of the manga they use the Japanese word for tights and briefs. But nevertheless, that's funny. So they're basically trying to figure out how to design their costumes, and that's Trunks' little like I don't know what you call it, like his concept art or whatever. Oh, I forgot to say thank you, Sleep, for the super chat. I forgot to say that, or maybe I did say it. I don't remember. What about superhero names? Didn't Gohan do a transforming superhero thing? What was his? Because they were kids when all that went down. Goten remembers it was Great Saiyaman. And they're like, yeah, let's take that name. Saiyaman X. Why? Come on, isn't that nonchalant feel to it? Okay, I'll be Saiyaman X1 and you can be Saiyaman X2. How come you get to be number one and I'm number two? He said, because I'm older. I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. If anyone's ever like, what's a Saiyan? Tell them we can't say it because it's a secret. Well, that might be a good idea. You don't want to tell them you're a secret alien, bro. They're over here arguing over what to name the heroes. Look at this fucking phony Cobra Kai right here, bro. This martial arts place. And then Clean God is back. There's Mr. Satan, who we haven't seen in a long time. I miss that guy. And this is when Clean God unmasked and was revealed to be Gohan. Geez, Mr. Hercule. It's supposed to be Mr. Satan, but they're using dub terms. Cut me a break with all this. I'm really sorry, Gohan. My student was supposed to play Clean God, but he got sick. See, that's what I'm saying. Clean God is supposed to be a regular human. Clean God is not real. In the Dragon Ball universe, Clean God is a superhero franchise. There's a guy, a regular actor, who plays Clean God, right? Gohan's filling in for him. Make sure you leave a like, man. We got 1,000 people and only 589 likes. Make sure you leave a like. It helps me out. Thank you. But anyways, what I was saying was, Clean God is a hero in universe. Gohan was just pretending to be him temporarily. But what he did by being Clean God is he inspired Goten and Trunks. That's the big twist. Now, what's ironic is that Gohan was already Great Saiyaman, and they're named themselves after Great Saiyaman. There's Videl, who we don't see much of anymore, and I want to see more of her. We saw it in Superhero. I heard there was some big incident. Yeah, they were just some thieves. No big deal. And then he basically says if people find out that Trunks has powers, it would ruin his high school life. Yeah, remember what you went through because of that? Did he understand? He didn't notice it was me, so I started monologuing as Clean God. There's a problem here, though. There's actually a bit of a plot hole here. Don't you think... Alright, think about this. Don't you think that Trunks would have recognized Gohan's ki? Like, don't you think Trunks would have been able to sense Gohan's ki? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, shouldn't Trunks have been able to sense Gohan's energy? It's not a big deal, but you would think so, right? You would think so. I mean, I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah, that's a bit of a logic hole, bro. But I do like the idea of Gohan pretending to be Clean God. I don't hate that idea. Gohan playing two different... Bro, Gohan's like Chris Evans, bro. You know Chris Evans played Johnny Storm and he played Steve Rogers. He played two different superheroes. That's kind of what Gohan is. And they made a movie out of him too. And then Videl points out this is not the right pose. This is the Great Saiyaman pose. Skull Lenti said they thought it was lame as kids and yes on the key. That's what I'm saying. And then you're talking about Daima where Gohan couldn't sense Piccolo's ki. I agree, it didn't make sense either. Zebek Carl Sefni, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He says, hey Danny, got no question, just wanted to say that I love your channel. So this chapter drops, you do a stream, that's passion. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, it's early over here on the East Coast. I gotta get some water, man. My throat's getting parched. I don't know if you can tell. So they're all gonna keep this a secret that he was Clean God. Gohan puts his glasses back on the Clark Kent shit. Several days later, pull over now. Stop this reckless driving. We have this motorcycle gang here. Looks kind of like somebody from Dragon Ball Z. And they're over here like, being dicks. The fly milk, of course, the fly milk. And then there's the Clean God statue. But it's not a statue. Or is it? Because it says Clean God back there, but it's talking. The statue is, or not the statue. It's not a statue. It's like a cardboard cutout. Yeah, I said statue, but I meant to say cardboard cutout. So I apologize for that. We'll protect the city in Clean Gods instead. And then here, this is when Saiyaman X1 and X2 make their debuts, it looks like. So they're saying that Clean God is too busy, but here's Goten and Trunks. Saiyaman X1 and X2 have arrived. That's the end of the chapter. So to summarize the chapter, Goten and Trunks went to the set of the Clean God movie. There was an actual robbery there. The actor playing Clean God on that day was Gohan because the original Clean God actor was sick and couldn't do it that day or unavailable. So Gohan took his place. And that wound up inspiring Goten and Trunks to do Saiyaman X1 and X2. Now, I want to tell you something about Dragon Ball Super. You can't really see it because the screen is blocking it. But at the actually you can see it now. If you look at the very bottom of the screen here, very bottom, it says to be continued. I don't think that means that the next chapter is going to continue this story. I think the to be continued is basically saying to be continued in the superhero arc. Excuse me. In the superhero arc. So, I don't think we should read too deeply into this. There was nothing this month in V-Jump. Excuse me. There was nothing in this month's V-Jump that said that there's a chapter coming next month or what the next arc is going to be. There's nothing in it. So I think that I would not take the to be continued that seriously. There's no there's no like announcement of what's up with Super. I couldn't even tell you, but there's nothing in V-Jump about it. So maybe next month there is no chapter, or maybe they announce something next month. I don't know. To be honest, what irritates me most about this, what pisses me off most about this, bro, is the fact that there's no communication. Like, if they would just tell us, hey, Dragon Ball Super is going to end here, or hey, it's going to start again here, it would be a lot better. Instead, Dragon Ball fans have their fucking dicks in their hands, if you know what I mean, waiting for Japan to announce something. They're just really bad at communication. And it's annoying. It's very annoying. Let me move this down a little tiny bit there. It's very annoying because I couldn't even tell you what they're going to do next. I have no idea. There was rumors of a movie. There's been talk of the manga coming back, but there's nothing. Like Toyotaro said he wants to continue, but there's nothing, no announcement. Now, if you're wondering, because I'm sure some of you are, about the rights battle, I don't even know what's up with that, because Kyo is still going around doing interviews representing Daima. So you would think that by now that's been resolved. No evidence to prove that either. So we're literally stuck here trying to figure out what's next. and it's bullshit. They should just tell us, like, this is happening or not. You know what I mean? Like, just talk to us. You know what I'm saying? But they never do that. So what can you do? You think they are taking a break since this first year of passing Toriyama? No, because it's already been a year. What are they gonna do, bro? Take a break forever? Like, they can't be on break forever, dude. Like, they gotta, you know what I mean? Let me get these super chats, but first let me get some water. Don't go anywhere. I forgot to get my water earlier, so I'm gonna go get it now. Stand by. Alrighty, I'm back. So what I was saying, because I had to get water, man. My throat was getting, I was getting parched a little bit. I had to get water. So what I was saying was, they just don't communicate what's going on. Like, there was nothing in V Jump. There was nothing anywhere about the next chapter or anything. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're planning. I don't know if they're still in the rights battle. Like, there's no communication. Japan is really, really bad at promoting outside of itself and at communicating. Well, no, not Japan. Shueisha is bad at it. Now let me get these super chats. Okay, I got a few that came in. Super Saiyan Snack says, "Yo, can you give us Sparking Zero DLC spoilers?" I don't know what you mean by DLC spoilers. I guess you're asking what the characters are going to be in Sparking Zero, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would assume, and this is just an assumption, that Kid Vegeta can do Super Saiyan 3. I would assume that you're going to get Goma, like King Goma. I would assume you're going to get Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I would assume that you're going to get, I hope we get the Tamagamis. We may not, though. You might get Majin Buu. That's my assumption, but I don't know for sure who's going to be in it, who's not. I'm worried, yo. I'm a little worried because if they don't start adding more DLC, I don't want it to be just like 5 characters. Like, I want to be able to play as Majin Buu. I want to play as the Tamagami. Like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want a lot of these Daima characters in there. I've said this before on streams and on videos. The Tamagamis are my favorite thing that they added in Daima. I love the Tamagamis. Sorry about that. I love Tamagamis, bro. I hope they're in there. Okay. Duke the Billy says, "I want to know, do you think SS4 Goku in Daima is basically Super Saiyan God? And was that legendary Saiyan Beerus seen in his dream?" No. I answered this question like 15 times in the streams I did over the weekend. Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4 from Daima is not the same thing. Yes, they have very similar hair color. No argument there. It is not the same thing. It is not. The dream that Beerus had was not of Super Saiyan 4, bro. I think people took the hair and got it mixed up thinking it was. It's not. It is not the same thing. You know, you want to know how we know that? because in the episode they sensed Goku's ki. Remember how Piccolo's like, wow, what an incredible ki. If it were God ki, they couldn't sense it. So it's not. Like, it's just not. You know what? I'm going to do a video about that. I think I've gotten that question so many times that I think I may do a separate video about it. Kakarot getting a Daima DLC true? Yes, they announced that like, oh God, months ago. Yeah, they announced that last year. That is true, yeah. Okay, next question. Corey says the 3 Saiyaman versus a new villain would be cool. Well, we sort of got that with Cell Max, it's just that Gohan wasn't dressed like Saiyaman. No, the dream thing did not get dropped, Silva. It's just that the dream was not about Super Saiyan 4. It was about Super Saiyan God. Not the same thing. KTP says, why do you think they decided to not show Gohan at all in Daima? I have no idea. I swear to you, I have no clue. I hope that I can find out. And this is what I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm very honest with y'all. Like, if I know something, I will say, like, how many times have I been like, oh, like when somebody asked me like about Super Saiyan 4 for the past 3 months, I've been like, I don't want to leak it. I know what's happening. I don't want to leak it. Remember I said that. But if you ask me a question and I don't know, I just tell you I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I don't know. I think a lot of people are egotistical in that they're afraid to not know something. They're afraid of being like, if you're going to consider me the Dragon Ball guy, right? People think I should know everything and I don't. I'm just a human. I don't know what the hell's going on over there in these offices, right? I don't know what they're thinking since Toriyama passed away. I don't know. I know some stuff and I've told you what I know. But, like, it's one of those things where, if I don't know, I don't know. I mean, there's, you know, and so I don't lie to you about that. And so in this case, I couldn't even tell you what they have planned. Okay, so let me get to the next super chat here. Ramez Michal, if I butchered your name, I apologize. I'm going to be optimistic and hope for the 1 year passing. They'll announce something. Grateful we got something. Chapter 104. If you're talking about them announcing something on March 1st, the passing of Toriyama, that is possible. I don't know if they will, but that is definitely possible. But what are they going to announce? What are they going to announce? You know what I mean? A new manga arc? Like, I don't know. I hope they do, but I don't know. You would think they would have announced it already. You know? Wouldn't they have announced it in this month's V-Jump? Hold on a minute here. Anyways, if you've got questions, go ahead and send them in. Movie? Maybe. I don't think so, though. I don't know how they're going to do that. Okay, but I hope you're right, Ramez. I hope you are. Thank you, HBO Gaming TV, for the super chat donations. I appreciate that. Sleep says, for the next arc, I want more of a slice of life arc with Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Honestly, God level threat after God level threat can get old. I love the way you think, but the reality is, let's just stop for a minute and think about the reality of Dragon Ball. People are more into the big threats than they are the side characters. I would love it if there was like a one shot or okay, hold on. AR says, I thought the one shot was going to be written by Toyotaro. It was. I talked about this earlier. This is not written by Toriyama. This is all Toyotaro. But the fucking page says it was written by Toriyama. And it wasn't. It's wrong. Like, it was written by, but this goes back to what I've been saying. They always put Toriyama's name on shit, even if he didn't write it. This chapter is all Toriyama. Why is the to be continued? Like, you notice how? Oh, I know why. Is it backwards? Hold on, I'm confused. Let me refresh this because it's like the pages are like out of order now. Wasn't that weird? I don't know if you saw that, but that was. Here it is. So it says written by Akira Toriyama. This is not Akira Toriyama. It's not. Game over, Jesse. Geekdom. They began working on Superhero before Broly released. Couldn't they have begun working on the next movie the same way before Superhero released? Yeah, but we don't. That's okay. That's what I was saying earlier. What you're saying is possible, but they haven't said anything. Like, what I'm saying is that is a possibility, but they haven't said anything. Like they haven't announced anything, and they should. I can tell you that after Superhero or during when it was coming out, Daima is what they were working on. I know that for a fact. I know that unquestionably because the sheets for Daima were from 2022. So anyways, what I was trying to tell Sleep is that people want the big threats. Even though I would love Slice of Life, I don't think they're going to do a whole arc on it. I want them to continue the story forward. Don't know what they're going to do though. Joe Madre says, what if the next arc is a flashback that retells Daima and introduces SS4 into Super? They're not doing that. I don't believe they're doing that. It's not. First of all, I don't want there to be a retelling of Daima in the manga if we just saw Daima. Then we get the same problem that we had for Superhero. However, if there's a flashback in the next arc, okay, so let me rewind my question, or rewind your question. If there's a flashback to Daima in the next arc and it's related to Daima, I would agree with you. That's fine. I don't want them to adapt the entire Daima story. Like, I don't want like a bunch of chapters telling us the same story again. If they do recap it though in some flashbacks, I wouldn't be against that. But it has to tie into whatever's next. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's what I think. Okay, so HBO Gaming TV says SS4 having red hair reason SS God gets less shine. I don't know what you mean by the question that when you say less shine, but the hair changed because they want to differentiate it from the original Super Saiyan 4. I kind of wish it was a different color, but I get why they went with that because Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has that hair. Aaron Tucker says, thank you so much. Thank you. And then Chester, send your questions through if you have any more, and we'll answer them before we get out of here. But anyways, Super Saiyan 4 has nothing to do with God. It just doesn't. Like it's similar hair. Yeah, same hair color, but it's not the same thing. I think people are putting connections in that aren't really there. If they reveal something, obviously I'll, talk about it. But I don't think that's gonna happen. It's just similar hair. They're different forms altogether. Like Super Saiyan God was a ritual, totally different. Cordell Chester, what do you want to see in the next arc, Geekdom? Well, I've gotten that question now for the past 3 years because we haven't had a new Dragon Ball Super arc in 3 years. And no, I'm not counting Superhero because that's a retelling of a movie. I'm talking about we haven't had a new story since August of 2022 when Black Frieza appeared, right? And I always answer this with the same answer. Planet Sadala. I every day that goes by, they don't go to Planet Sadala, I get angrier because there's potential for Goku and Vegeta and maybe some of the others to go to Planet Sadala because there's a lot of lore and they could reintroduce Kaba, Kale, and Caulifla and other Saiyans and tell a story in Universe 6. I've been wanting that since the Super Anime and we still haven't got it. I just feel like the issue here as a Dragon Ball fan, the issue as a Dragon Ball fan is that sometimes we think we're going to get something and we don't get it. And sometimes it's infuriating, but other times it's not. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the case about John Jones, bro. Yes, and that's another thing somebody pointed out in the chat. The Black Frieza thing was a cliffhanger. You must be insanely beyond angry. I mean, I'm not really super angry about it. I'm just confused. Why do Chronic Cat Gaming says, why do they keep giving us side stories? Well, I don't know what you mean by side story. If you're talking about this one shot, like the Clean God stuff, I think this is because they wanted to have the chapter, they wanted to have a certain number of chapters per volume, and that's why. As far as Daima goes, Daima's a little bit of a gray area because Daima is somewhat of a side story, right? Not entirely, but somewhat of one. But they also like have lore dumps that are like serious, like, you know, lore dumps. So, and that are part of the continuity. So it's part of the Dragon Ball timeline, but it's not like, it's not tied, like it's a story. Like it is a story that Toriyama wants to tell, but it's not like, it's not the next story. You know what I mean? It's a story he wants to tell, but it's not what's after Superhero. And I think it's about time. But like I said earlier in the stream, the problem with Dragon Ball now is that Japan does not communicate with us. They don't tell us, like, you know how with Marvel, they have the entire slate laid out and it's like, okay, you're getting 3 movies this year. You're getting 2 TV shows this year. They never do that with Dragon Ball. And it's honestly, that part is infuriating because they need to do something with it. Dragon Ball still makes them a ton of money. So why not continue it? Like this, and if you're not going to continue it, here's what I'm trying to say. If you're not, let's pretend that Dragon Ball Super is over. Let's pretend that after this chapter, there's no more Super. They need to tell us that. You know what I mean? They need to tell us, like, due to the passing of Toriyama, we'll not continue Dragon Ball Super. Now, like somebody pointed out in the chat earlier, what about Black Frieza? There are still unresolved things that need to get resolved. But I'm over here like, they just don't say anything. And that's the part that's annoying. They don't communicate with us. So we don't know what they have planned. Thanks again, HBO Gaming. Thanks for joining the members. I appreciate that. Like, okay, Mr. Johnny 0107 is asking about Cooler, right? A lot of people wanted Cooler to be the villain of the next movie, like after Broly, and we didn't get that either. So, like, I would love to have them like repurpose Cooler, but again, they don't communicate with us. I would be fine with it. Cooler and Janemba need to be repurposed. I think, my opinion. Jake says, I do think at some point all stories need to come to an end. The Black Frieza cliffhanger is a problem. I agree with you. I agree with you completely on that. I look, if when Toriyama passed away, if they were going to end Dragon Ball there. Daima was already being made. But if they're going to end Dragon Ball with the passing of Toriyama, then they should have just said that. They should have just made an announcement and said, due to the passing of the creator, we're not going to continue the series. Oh, and Black Frieza, tough shit. You're not going to get the conclusion. They could have done that. They haven't done that yet. That's what I'm saying. I can do what I can to find out what's going on over there, but I don't know what's really going on because that's above like my pay grade. Meaning, let me explain to you what that means. I can get information ahead of time. I've proven that before, but the information about what's next is super high up. So they're keeping that from everybody if there even is a plan. Now, here's my thing. I want to repeat what I said, but I want you to understand it. If they don't want to continue doing Dragon Ball, if they say, okay, Toriyama passed away, we're not going to keep doing Dragon Ball, they need to tell us that. They need to make an announcement and make it very clear. This is the final Dragon Ball chapter, blah, 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 right? They haven't done that. Here with the latest chapter 104 of Super, nowhere does it say it's the last chapter. You would think at the bottom they would say like, this is the final chapter of Dragon Ball Super, thanks for reading. But they haven't done that. Even when Toriyama finished the original manga all the way back in the mid-90s, he even wrote, this is the end of the story. They haven't done that. So what are we supposed to do? Keep waiting? How long are we going to wait? It's been 3 years since Black Frieza. It was August of 2022. You know what I mean? It's been 3 years, yo. Like, what's going on with these guys, man? What are they doing over there? What are they doing over there? So the poll results, 87% said future Trunks, 13% said present. Akio did say they're going to continue. So did Toyotaro. But can they tell us something? You know what I mean? Like, can we get some kind of announcement? It's so weird, man. Like, it's just very confusing. Okay, HBO Gaming TV says they never revealed the villain in Jiren's story. Could Goma / Demon Realm be involved? His outfit is too damn close. Gotta have a connection. Well, first of all, the idea that they have to have a connection, not necessarily. Although I agree with your logic. I agree with you, but that doesn't mean that's what they were thinking, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, as far as the Goma Demon Realm thing, when they told Jiren's backstory, they did say that his master was killed by a demon. So, like, yes, they could tie it into the demon realm. I hope they do. I really hope they do. I'll be honest though, and I've said this before, I think the reason as to why Goma looks like that is to kind of parody Jiren. You know what I mean? He's basically, like, the thing about Goma, the big joke about Goma, this is the joke, alright, is that he starts off being Pilaf and he ends being Jiren. That's the joke. He goes from being a weak comedy character who has magic abilities. I mean, he's not just Pilaf, but it's similar. To being this super strong final villain. You know what I mean? Like, that's the joke that they're telling. Once again, my YouTube studio crashed. I don't know what's going on today. Hold on. But yes, I would like that to be the case. All right, Ramez Mikal. Daima is awesome. I really enjoyed it, but I need to see Tournament of Power 2, Black Frieza, Sadala. Too much upside and unfinished stories to stop now. Big fan though. Thanks, Geekdom. Well, I thank you, and I agree. Listen. I agree with you. Right? I don't think Dragon Ball. I like right now. Look, let me read the chat. Somebody just said this. A VJ says, "I dead ass don't think Dragon Ball's over, especially with all the Yoku interviews and shit. So hopefully, I expect stuff to come this year as well." But here's the thing, bro. Like, here's what I'm trying to tell you. I agree with you, but my anger is in the fact that, or my frustration is in the fact that they haven't said anything. Like, they need to say something. They need to communicate with us. Instead, you never hear shit from their side. You hear Ioku saying there's more coming. You hear Toyotaro saying it, but where's the announcement? That's my point. It's been, dude, Black Frieza was August of 2022. That was 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago. 2.5. Like, why are we not continuing with this? Like, it's and again, this month, this chapter 104, they didn't say new arc next month, but they also didn't say Dragon Ball Super's over. They're not talking. They're not saying anything. So what am I supposed to think? What are you supposed to think? What are we supposed to think? That's the part that's irritating, is not knowing. And I wish they would have a plan. Dragon Ball has the potential. What irritates me also is that from a business perspective, purely business, Dragon Ball has the potential to be even bigger than it is. Like, you know what I mean? They have only scraped the surface of how big Dragon Ball can be now. People are hungry for more Dragon Ball. People want more Dragon Ball stories. And yes, Toriyama's not with us anymore. And if they choose to end it with him passing away, I respect it and I understand. But they haven't said that. So can you tell us something? That's what I'm saying. Like, fuck. I agree that they didn't say it was ending, but they didn't say it was continuing either. It's like we're in limbo. We're basically in limbo. I hope that makes sense, man. Mustangier 405 just got to my original question about Vegeta SS4 infusion, second donation. Did I skip your question? If I did, it was an accident. Let me scroll up here because I don't see your question. I may have accidentally gone past it. Hold on, I'm looking. Give me 1 second. I don't think your first one went through, man. I don't see the first one. I do not see your name, bro. You said it's your second donate. I swear to you, I do not see your name. I think I screwed up. Yeah, I don't. Just ask me the question now in the chat and I'll answer it. But sometimes it might not even be you, bro. YouTube is weird like that. Yannick says if they don't tie the Demon Realm with Jiren's backstory, it'll be a huge missed opportunity. You're right about that, bro. You're right about that. But how many missed opportunities have they had, bro? How many missed opportunities have they done? They didn't even do the fucking Moro arc. People want the Moro arc. You know, they didn't even do that. Audio by Blake TV says, did I miss something or can Trunks and Goten not read Gohan's ki? I brought that up earlier in the stream during the review, and you're right that they should have been able to read it. It's kind of like how Gohan didn't recognize Piccolo. He should have been able to. Doesn't make any sense. Turles says, does Sasuke Toriyama have any say when it comes to the future of Dragon Ball? Or is it all in the studios? Sasuke Toriyama is not a writer. He's just the guy who happens to be Toriyama's son who inherited the company, but he's not a writer or an artist. All right, Mustanger 405. This is the super chat that I think you sent earlier, but I see you read it. He says, my question is, do you know for a fact that Vegeta will not attain Super Saiyan 4? Or is there any hope? And do you know for a fact no Vegeta Goku fusion in the last 2 episodes? And are you happy with the new SS4? Okay, that's 3 questions, bro. Okay, do I know for a fact that Vegeta will not get Super Saiyan 4? For a fact, no. Because I haven't seen any behind the scenes material with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. That does not mean that it doesn't exist. That just means I haven't seen it. So you never know. Number 2, he says the fusion. Goku and Vegeta are likely not going to be fusing in the last 2 episodes. I think episode 19 is going to have the fusion. I think we'll see it, right? But it's not going to be Goku and Vegeta. I'm not going to tell you because that would be a leak. And then he says, are you happy with the new Super Saiyan 4? I'm fine with it. Like, when it comes to the Super Saiyan 4, I'm fine with it. And yes, the official title, according to the behind the scenes sheets, is Super Saiyan 4. People need to get over it, bro. What if I told you I can prove it to you right now? What if I told you I can prove it to you right now? I will show you. Let me get this last question here from Ramez Mikal. He says, last question, Geekdom, your dream Dragon Ball fight, full powered, all forms. That's a good question. I don't know about my dream Dragon Ball fight. That's tough, man. Anyways. I want to see Gohan versus Broly. It's not my dream fight, but it's a fight that we haven't seen that I would like to see. Gohan versus Broly. I don't know if I have a dream fight, but that would be the closest one. Also, Goku and Beerus's rematch. Let's see that, right? All right, Sleep says, I feel like DBS should be a yearly anime so we get better animation with maybe 12 episodes mini anime in between with good animation, but not like DBS. That's good way for business there. I have been saying that for years, that Dragon Ball Super should be seasonal. You know what I'm saying? UI versus UE. Well, yeah, UI versus UE is a good fight. It's a good point. SS4 Goku versus Beerus. Beerus would destroy SS4 Goku. You know what I want, bro? Honestly, I'm gonna throw you a curveball right now. Golden Frieza, Golden Cooler, repurposed or canonized, whatever you want to call it, and Golden Frost against Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. 6-man tag, like Teddy Long used to say, in a 6-man tag team match, playa. That's what I would like. Why is Dragon Ball mishandled? Because it's Shueisha, bro, and they suck. Keeping it like blunt, you know. Yelen Seren, I hope the rest of the Goma fight is long and drags. Well, there's 2 episodes left, so I don't know what you consider long, but there's still 2 episodes left. My favorite Dragon Ball character. Who is the character I base my icon off of? It's him. Audio by Blake TV says, if they do a TOP2, what universe do you think would be most improved? Universe 7, bro. Because if they do think about it, if they do a TOP2, right? You've got Gohan Beast now. You've got Orange Piccolo now. You've got potentially Broly on the team. You've got possibly Granola on the team. He's not dead yet. He's got a few more years of life. Granola could be on the team. You've got Frieza as Black Frieza. Dude, if you look at the manga post Tournament of Power, Universe 7 has improved a lot. Let me show you something now. So this is actual Toei Genga right here. This is an actual Toei animation sheet from episode 18. Notice on the right here how it says pan up. That's because the way it looked in the episode, if you remember, is it started here and it went up like this, right? And there's Goma. So this is an actual Toei animation Genga. Now, if we look here, this is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? You see that? What does it say right there, bro? What does that say? What does that say, dude? It says SS4. People really need to stop coping. This form is called Super Saiyan 4 internally. Will they change the name? Maybe. But it's Super Saiyan 4. Right there. SS4, bro. It's even written that way in English. Then there's Super Saiyan 4 Go. I've had this image for months. So, there you go. There's a little behind the scenes look. So, there you go. What do you want me to tell you? Now, again, like I said before, they could still change the name. But right now, it's what it's called. Stephen Garner said, the mismanagement of Dragon Ball is heartbreaking. As for the anime, with all the time going by, our beloved voice actors are not getting younger. Hate to be grim, but it's a harsh reality. I know, and I hate it. I hate it. Hawk Cam says that it was interesting they call it SS4 and not SSJ. SSJ is more of a fan sub term than like an official term. Why doesn't Granola just wish for his lost life back? I think he could do that. But maybe the dragon says he can't do it. I don't know. I wouldn't be against that. I would not be against that. Okay, 0x Zach says, I will respect them if they decided to end Dragon Ball after Toriyama's passing, but there are so many stories that they could tell and so much potential for the future of Dragon Ball and its fans. Exactly. I've been saying that I don't know how long. Shueisha and Toei and all these companies have dropped the ball with Dragon Ball. They've dropped it. Because they could easily make a ton of money just based on the Universe 11 characters. There's so much potential and they're not even maximizing that potential. I hate the fact that Dragon Ball is in this state. I hate it. As fans, we don't deserve this. And to be honest with you, I feel like the way that they treat Dragon Ball is disrespectful to Toriyama. That's what I think. Unless we find out that Toriyama himself said, do not continue the story after I die, which if there's a quote of that, it's never come out publicly. He's never said that to our knowledge, right? If he wrote to Toei and Shueisha and said, if I die, this is over, then they should have already told us that. But they haven't. So I'm thinking it can't be over yet, but it's just frustrating because I don't know. Nobody knows. The potential is there. Thank you, Mustang, for the generous donations. Mustanger 405. Ramez says Universe 7 is stacked, but we don't know the strength of the other universes that didn't participate. Right. That is true. Beast, Gohan, UI, UE, and FP Broly, we need it. Yes. And Tournament of Power 2 would be an insanely beloved arc if done right. If they do it right, bro, that could be great. You know what they should do? They should do, this is what I think they should do. This is just my opinion. They should do Tournament of Power 2, right? All the universes are fighting, and then the tournament gets interrupted by the demon realm, who traps everyone in universe with some powerful new villain who traps everybody there in like some void place or like in the void, and they try to take over the multiverse. And then when eventually Goku and them figure out a way out of it, that's when you see Goku teaming up with Hit, teaming up with Jiren. Everyone from the multiverse teams up against the demon realm. The demon realm is weak, but they would have to find like a new villain. Something like that, I think, would work. How long till Dragon Ball becomes public domain? The day after never. That's when Dragon Ball becomes public domain, bro. One day after never. Gabe Lewis says, Dragon Ball is not like Nosferatu, bro. That ain't never happening. Gabe Lewis says, what's worse, the treatment of Dragon Ball or Star Wars? I think the treatment of Star Wars is worse because a lot of people have now gone to hate Star Wars. I don't think people hate Dragon Ball. I think people just want the stories to get better and want Dragon Ball to improve. But the other thing too is that the people who make Dragon Ball, you never see them publicly attack the fans like what Lucasfilm has done. So I think that Dragon Ball is definitely in a better place, in my opinion. I think that the issue with Dragon Ball is they're not maximizing their potential. The issue with Star Wars is that nobody there has any clue what to do. And it might be similar to Dragon Ball, but I think Toyotaro and Akio and guys like that would know, right? So again, it's just, this is the way things are, and it's very confusing. Don't know what to tell you. Anyways, I gotta get some food in my belly because I haven't eaten. So I will be back on Friday with the Dragon Ball Daima. I haven't eaten in 2 days, actually. I'm fasting right now. Long fucking fast, bro. Long fast. What I was gonna tell you was, never mind. I'll be back on Friday to talk about Daima. I may stream Friday afternoon. I want to repeat what I said earlier. Hold on, I got one more super chat. Mustanger says, do you know who defeats Goma and in the finale with the new fusion, which sounds likely will not be Goku and Vegeta? Could Goku and Vegeta still win? Well, they're going to beat Goma, yes, but I don't know who. I'm guessing it'll be a combination of everyone working together. That's my guess. It'll be everyone working together, but I genuinely don't know. No, this fasting, that's a world record? No, it's not, bro. There's a dude that fasted for almost a whole year, only drinking water and electrolytes. I'm not doing that. So, yeah. Anyways, so it'll be a combination of people. We'll see. But what I was going to say was, I'm reading the chats here. Yes, somebody fasted for a whole year. Yeah, what they did was they were under doctor supervision, though. Like, they were being watched by a doctor, and the dude just drank water and took, like, electrolytes and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying? 2-day fast is not long at all. After the third day is when you start healing. You're talking about not hypertrophy. Oh my God, I know what you're talking about. There's a word for it. Oh my God, what is the word for it, bro? Now I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know. There's a word for it, bro, and I forgot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, anyways, like I was saying, I want to repeat what I was saying earlier. I'm going to do a non spoiler thumbnail for the first 5 hours of Daima. Then I may do a spoiler one. Letting you know now, watch out for social media, watch out for Instagram, watch out for Twitter, watch out for Blue Sky, because there will be spoilers. The official accounts spoiled Super Saiyan 4 minutes after the episode ended. It will be everywhere. You got to do what you can to avoid it if you want to avoid it. All right, let me get these last couple of super chats. Well, first of all, thank you, Desmond. That was just a donation. I appreciate it. And then Brian Williams says, for Daima, I would like the explanation for SS4 to be not God Key, but Demon Key. We talked about that on Sunday, bro. That's kind of... they haven't actually said that, but that's kind of similar. It's magic. But demon, so I think a synonym for magic could be considered demon key. So that could work. What are your thoughts? Longtime subscribers of 2015, rock on. Well, thank you for 10 years. And yeah, no, magic is kind of like demon key. So anyways, if you don't want to be spoiled, I am not going to egregiously spoil anything. I'm genuinely trying. Unlike some other YouTubers, I'm actually trying to make y'all happy. I really don't want people to think of me as not caring about y'all, like the loyal subscribers. So that's why what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. The review is going to be called Dragon Ball Daima Episode 19 Review. Probably Glorio's Wish. Because Glorio's making the wish, right? Then if something big happens, I will change the thumbnail and the title later in the day. So when your phone gets notified, you're going to get notified of the original thumbnail, not the new one. Therefore, you should not be spoiled. You know what I mean? Did somebody call me? So that's what I'm going to do. And then I may do a stream later that night. Just make sure that you do what you can. Because there's a lot of spoilers coming out at that time. Random Perspective said ketosis is the word. That's not what I'm talking about. You're right about ketosis, but that's not the word I was thinking of. It starts with an A. Autophagy. Autophagy. That's what you're saying. Autophagy is when the human body heals itself after a couple days. Yes, that is true. You are correct on that. Or it's beyond ketosis gets you to autophagy. That's what I was talking about. Anyways, y'all, it was a pleasure. I hope you have a good day. Seriously, take care of yourself and each other. Be safe out there. I'll see y'all Friday, and I will be streaming this weekend. Maybe twice. Maybe twice, depending on what happens. But for now, see you soon.